Hello everyone, my name is Lizette Salamanca, and today on my channel for SAP Functional Consultants, I'm going to explain how to create general ledger accounts and the fields involved when creating them. Ready? Let's get started. Well, here we are in the SAP interface, and if we go to transaction FS00, that's the transaction where we create general ledger accounts. But I'm going to show you the path: finance, financial management, general ledger, master data, general ledger accounts, initial processing. Here it is. FS00 is at the central level. We also have FP0 at the chart of accounts level and FSS0 at the company code level. What does this mean? Here at the central level, it's as if we were a single company in one country, and that's it. We only need one chart of accounts, the standard one for everyone. But if we're a group of companies, we need an operational chart of accounts. If we are a group of companies located in different countries, then each one will need a country-specific chart of accounts. And we set that up here. I explained this in one of my previous videos. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out so you can understand what I'm talking about, okay? At the chart of accounts level, here, general ledger account, chart of accounts, and for example, California E, which is the chart of accounts for Spain. This chart of accounts already has all the general ledger accounts created. So if I click on any number, it will already be set up. And in the information, we see that it was created in 1992 by SAP. So if we go back to the company, here you would see all the company data. Well, if I create it here, it's also created at the central level. If I create it here, it's also at the central level. Let's create it at the central level as if we were a single company, something simple, and that's it. And here's something very important that I want to explain to you. All these fields you see here, notice they are subject to 4 concepts. They can be display only, optional, mandatory, or suppressed. Right now, they're all set to display only. This is configured according to the account group, which I also explained in one of my previous videos. Let's say we're going to create this account 400. We click here on create, and these are the account groups I'll show you. We open a new window. We go to transactional BD4, select our chart of accounts. And all of these here, all of these are the same as the ones here. So notice something. ASO01. This little field here means that it's mandatory, it's a balance sheet account, and now it lets me go here. All these fields are visible here, but if I choose ASO01, associated account, which is an associated account because it's a vendor account, and I go back here, look, do you see? The fields that were all here have been removed, leaving only the ones necessary for this general ledger account. This is configured in this section here. We deselect this, select ASO01, go to field status, and here in the control section, these are the person lines data enabled. Here we can see that we have required fields, currency, and associated account. Here it tells me that associated account is required. Currency is also required. Let's do a test. If I remove this and put it here as an optional entry, I click save. I have to exit again, go back in, click create again, set the balance account here. Step 01, we go over here. And now you can see that it no longer shows as a required field, but as optional, because that's how we marked it here as an optional entry. But let's set it back again as a required account. Let's say, go back again, go back, enter, create, balance account, step 01, and now it's back to how it was at the beginning. Well, that's why it's highly recommended to create account groups by copying, not from scratch. Can you do it by copying? Yes. If we select new entry, we can do it. This is the course account group, I don't know, Linzio, we call it test, from 300 to 600. We click create, go back and position ourselves again. Look at it here, the one that's for testing. If we go to field status, then all of them will appear. All of them will have optional entries. And it will be very tedious to start configuring each one because there are so many fields and so many general ledger accounts. So the recommended way is always to do it by copying. We can delete this, select it, and remove it. And that's it. Done. Let's continue. Here it requires me to enter the associated account because it's a vendor. I select creditor here. Let's go back and continue filling in these vendors, various vendors. It's like the text is called detailed, associated GL company. I'll explain this later in the course. And this field that says group account number is because when we were linking the operational group and country chart of accounts, we associated the group chart. We can also change this. I'll show you how. We open a new window, go to transaction OB13, look for our chart of accounts, and here, where it says consolidation, we enter the group chart of accounts. We're going to remove it because let's assume we're just one company. And if we go back here, we have to exit again for the changes to appear. See, it's no longer there. Done. Now, let's create a balance sheet account, an associate account. What it says here, Arkansas and AP means to receive and to pay. A vendor account, a miscellaneous vendor account. Let's go to control data. Euro currency is what's recommended, that it should always be the local currency due to exchange rate matters. Balance only in local currency. This is for accounts like VAT, which are national level, so only that is allowed. Here in tax category, I recommend that you only select or use what will be handled in this course. Only supported VAT, Virginia T charged less or more is allowed. Or for VAT accounts, these two here. They can choose a specific VAT account here. But what happens then? If they choose, let's say this one, which is 10%, all the transactions they make with this account will have this VAT rate. But if in your country next year, the government decides to raise the VAT rate, you'll have to create a new account because everything that was here will remain at the previous rate and you can't modify it. On the other hand, with these options here, you will be able to do it. You will be able to modify it. All right, so this is a supported BAD account, creditors, and here where it says authorization groups, this means that you can extend the control of certain objects, and here the abbreviation responsible is used in the payment program for correspondence. We're going to leave it unchecked, and here in field status group, it says document entry control in the company. It's similar to what I was explaining to you about the fields in this interface, but at the moment of document entry, we're going to choose which types of fields we want to be displayed. Okay. Here we're going to select GO67, which is for associated accounts. All right. We click save. Perfect. Let's say I want to create this same account, an account 401 using the model of the account we just created from the company in our course. And here we mark it as error. Why error? Because let's say I created this account by mistake. We click save and now I want to delete it. How do I delete it? Here where it says set division request, I click here and select mark for deletion for the company and also for the chart of accounts, and then I click save. And besides this, I have to go to another transaction, OBR2, and here we select delete GL accounts, the 401 that we created by mistake. Here we do it with general master data in the company. Here we select the company and first run it in test mode. We click execute. This runs, but it doesn't actually take effect. Here it says that it will be deleted from the chart of accounts and from the company, okay? So now we actually do it. We click here on consider deletion request and execute it. Here it asks, should it really be deleted? And we say yes. All right, it's been deleted. Now, if we go back, notice that if I search here for the chart of accounts in the company, the general ledger accounts, it should show me both, I think. Oh, actually now it only shows me the one we just created. Before deleting it, it would have shown me account 401, but I didn't show you that earlier. But this means that we no longer have account 401. It says it doesn't exist in the chart of accounts because we just deleted it. All right. I'm going to keep creating more general ledger accounts and I'll speed up the video. I'll pause to explain some important fields, but I do it this way because it would get very repetitive otherwise, okay? Here in the class F, classification, this shows me how I want the reports of the entries to be generated when I make records in the account. The accounts have all the records, the transactions, and I generate the report from that. So I wanted to show me that by posting date, so here I enter 001. In this one, I wanted to show me everything in general because it's no longer an associated account. Here it says Open Item Management. I check this box here because when it shows me each item from each record of that account, I want to manage it. So with this, I can modify some parts of those records. That's why I selected Open Item Management. And I'm going to check the box so those options are enabled. And this time I wanted to show me by value date. And here this will be a group of bank account field statuses. I can also do this by copying from another company code. I have another company called SAP S, and I can also create it by copying the 625. They have all the same fields, so I'm going to create them like that. Done. So here, if we go to the chart of accounts, we click search. We already have all these accounts created: vendor accounts, customer accounts, virginity, insurance premium, purchase of goods supplies, and sales of goods. These are all the accounts that appear in the PUC, in the General Accounting Plan, and in the Unified Chart of Accounts in the case of Colombia. Alright, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Give it a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. Alright? Bye bye.